And this is America turn 3. I'm not actually doing the turn, but I just needed to talk through this. So this might be posted a little later, but just trying to take a look at what is out there. I'll get a little closer. So here's an airbase off Aleutians. I've got some tech dice to roll. And let me just check. I'm just trying to voice this out loud sometimes. I guess shipyards. Everyone has airborne, war bonds, and improved mech. So everyone, big powers get tech. So I've got, and I bought tech. So I do not know how many tech tokens I have right now. So I'm going to have to find that out. So hold on just a second as I investigate how many tech tokens I have. All right, so we have succeeded twice. We bought 2 extra. We got 1 the first turn. So we rolled 3 dice the first turn. We rolled 3 dice the second turn. Both turns I got a hit. So those 2 again carry over. So I actually am going to, and this is real, on record roll for tech. It should be 3. So I'm going to go in here. I'll pause this just for. All right, just looking for an explanation why it's $75. Obviously, America is 50. It's $20 bonus. It goes to 72. Then we get war bonds, and war bonds take you, and you get $4 from war bonds. We have adjusted it so it's 1 plus, so it's $5 for war bonds. It'll put me at $75. So what I did was I gave myself an extra 5. That's the, and then I have to buy war bonds. I buy 1 tech. And that should give me 3 dice. Bring me back to 75. Here we go. Okay. And, okay, so I have too many dice. I should have 3. So these first 3 count. The others do not. So that's too bad. Okay. And I might be stuck right now. Okay. So, 3 dice. I was hoping to get 1. Sucks. All right. Oh, it was in edit mode. That never helps. All right. So, no. I'll have 4 dice next turn to roll. Man, one of these days, one of us is going to get like 3 6s, and it's going to be technology. So, he has adjusted this, and I have to do the adjustments. Hold on just a sec with that. All right, I think I got it right. And of course, I have very little time left. Okay, so so one of the key things in war is when you're winning, don't lose. So, and by that I mean that if we look at areas, right now, this area, you know, it these 2 areas right here, for instance, are not really connected, right? They're separated. The shipyards can only send them 3. Now, the aircraft are actually connected. So this is a zone right here. And in this zone, I am outnumbering it by a good amount. I can attack, and I could attack, and I may attack only with aircraft and subs. And interestingly enough, transport 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5. 12. If I just go in with the 12 and the carrier, I would have 14 hits, and he would have 1, 2, 3, 9, 12, and then he's got all these hit points. But I mean, it might be worth it. I would avoid the kamikazes. And I have these reinforcements to back me up, 3 carriers and a cruiser, I think. So interesting, and then I can paratroop one guy over here as well as bring 4 units to Soviet Far East. And I would think I could even bring him up to here. It's harder for him to reach. So that's a possibility. Um, that's a real possibility. And then the planes go 1, 2, and then they can land on some of the carriers that are coming from 7, from 10, if I send them to 7. So really interesting stuff. A lot of times you'll be afraid that the Air Force will be able to actually come back at you no matter what, because you can always build a fleet here. But in this case, he's pretty far out of the field now. He does have a number of dice he's rolling, and if he gets the long range aircraft, all bets are off. On the other hand, if he gets long range aircraft, to pull off a feat like an attack on 7 would be sending aircraft. So the injuries would all have to be aircraft. So that's not exactly a bad deal when you have a fairly healthy China and a fairly healthy Calcutta, as well as as well as you own 3 out of the 4. I mean, if I've got all the action taking place up here, and I've got the 11 infantry pinned against my 18 and more, that does not allow him a lot of southern expansion, and probably his purchases have to be up here as well. Now this here was supposed to bring some attention away from the north. He does not have a full 2 boats. He only has 3 out of 4. So for him to bypass that and go toward Calcutta, or even to divide and attack these 3, even though that would not be easy, especially with the presence of 2 destroyers here that are destroyer transports, an Anzac sub here, a British Calcutta Indian sub here. So interesting game. He's basically given up on Carolines in order to grab New Britain with 3 units. Probably need to take that. I mean, it's being given as a gift, so why not? Another possibility: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the Pacific, which is, like I said, just pretty fascinating, pretty interesting, uh, good stuff. If I did do that attack, I've got the second wave coming in with um, he'd have to sink some carriers, I would think. So I would be throwing away either my subs. Um, there are destroyers in the battle, so that enables me to throw away my subs. He's likely to get 9 4.5 hits, 5.5 hits, 6, 6 or 7 hits. So I lose a couple of my planes, and then land the rest in 7 on carriers. Oh, and if I take the carrier, and I'll be able to take the carrier as a hit. Oh, no. The commies would land against the carrier. I'm tempted to bring the whole thing in. I've got 3 destroyers and 2 cruisers. So the odds are that he gets 2 hits. So I would then be coming in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minus 2. I mean, 3 minus 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. 16 with 18 hit points. My the big issue here in my book is that if I go in with commies and he gets something ridiculous like 4 out of 6, which he is likely to do, then that changes the math up here. I don't want to change the math up here. So I think I might throw away some subs. I wish these were super subs, man. I was hoping for super subs. And some airplanes in order to take down those carriers. That's expensive stuff for him. These are $5 for me. All right, let's take a look at the Atlantic real quick. I don't think there's much over here. Okay, so we do have... Nope. Excuse me. Okay. I thought I had more units over here. All right. Excuse me. No transports. Oh, that's right. I had the help from the Russians. Excuse me. A little cold. All right, and a very healthy British Navy. Okay. Okay, and Brazil is not still not occupied. Problem. All right, let's see what I got. 3 bombers, 2 subs, two destroyers, 1 transport, and 2 infantry with $3 saved, I believe. Let me just check. And that's saved so that I can use Marines if I want to elevate them onto destroyers. I've only got 2 destroyers on the board. I just put two more on. But I thought I might leave those options open since there are a couple of spaces that could use. Yeah. All right, let's do it. So I am not going to do the big attack. Um, so yeah, I am going to shuffle though. Let's do some shuffling. So this guy is actually going to go. I'm going to take a destroyer and take him down to right here. Take him down to the Carolines, and I believe 1 infantry is going to attack there, and I believe that anti-aircraft will roll over and die, as far as I understand it. So that's pretty cool. Let's also bring 1 over to Iwo Jima on a transport. All right, so let me get out of edit mode. I'm going to shuffle some subs down to Guam. 18. Just going to shuffle them south a little bit. And then down. This one will go here. I may go to, nope, can't go there. 1, 2, and 3. And there's only an airbase there. Okay, so we'll hit there. And then the transport. All right, the transport will bring artillery infantry. Out here. And I think I'll bring this up here, and we'll grab these two. Now, they are destroyers, but I have rockets right now, so I'll go here. In the middle, I'll land those. These two guys can move over here. This aircraft carrier can move over to 91. And okay, so we've got the Americans up here. I've got to land that. If I forget it, let me know. Subs all shuffled south. Took over Caroline, took over Iwo Jima. Okay, so I did bring one of these out, and I don't think there's any use to these guys. So I'm going to bring this back. Oh, the bomber. So I guess the one and sort of biggest move is I'm going to send the bomber on a dangerous mission. I am on a war against all destroyers. Obviously, they're the natural enemies of all these submarines. I currently have 1, 2, 6 submarines on the board right now. He has 3 destroyers, so that leaves me at a pretty good advantage as far as the sub versus destroyers. I'm going to try this. Let me just do a little bit of a roll dice. I like to roll 100 dice. Get this out of the way. There's my dice. And I'm just going to do active units real quick. Nothing there to move. Nothing there to move. All right, let's hope for good things for our B-17 crew. Get them, boys. No airborne attacks. Select suicide. All right. Well, he did say he wanted them on there. So I would think he'd choose one, maybe. It's not C-zone. I don't know that. I better ask him. I'm going to ask him afterward, and I'll do post roll. I'll do the roll in the British turn. So I'll select none. And I missed. He missed. Remain. Hit him. He missed me. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to lose this bomber. But the bomber took out $15 worth of equipment, which I consider to be. What happened here? Oh, Guam. Awesome. Which I consider to be very valuable. So I am thrilled with that result. And I think we're done. So that is the American move, and we'll drop 3 bombers in the west coast, putting more pressure on C-Zone 6. And then this over here is going to get a transport. This is going to get an infantry. This is going to get an infantry. And then this is going to get everything else. Just to make sure, we do have some. We're having difficulty in the north. This is about to be resolved right here. So You know what? We'll do one more destroyer over here. And we'll do this right here. And that gives me 5 new units for the, the Pacific. So, honestly, it looks like overkill. But it's going to take a while to get to the North Atlantic. I can't put this up there. It's got enough subs. So we got 2 Russian subs right there. And 2 British subs. Yep, and they're... Alright, so I'm going to put 1 destroyer. And I'll put the other sub here. What happened? Oops, screwed that up. How did I screw that up? There we go. All right, and the recap of war bonds +1, remember? So now I used 2. Okay, so it ends with $75. Okay, I did use $2 to train Marines to go on to Iwo Jima and Carolines. So I got a +1 on the war bonds. That means I have only a -1 on my resources. Use 2 for training Marines. Received an extra $1. 2 minus 1 is -1. All right, that's it. Let's do a recap for the boring turn. We got an American bomber in Guam. 21 has a sub, 18 has a sub, 17 has a sub and destroyer, 16 has a sub. I'm not liking that double up there. I don't want you to be able to attack and get a double out of that. So I'm going to move that one to 7. Yeah, we can't give you the bonus. All right. Those subs came from up here, 1, 2, and 3. So, all right. So 17 is destroyer, infantry in Iwo Jima, sub and 16, 7, 7. Infantry in Caroline, destroyer in 33. 25 has 3 cruisers, 1 battleship, 5 fighters on Midway, diver fighter, and the aircraft carrier. Oh, whoops, crap. Okay, so 1, 2. Take 2 of those off and add 2 to the water. Making mistakes. Okay. All right, there we go. Fixed. 3 fighters on Midway, 3 fighters and 1 diver in the water on these 4 carriers, 1 destroyer. Freaking nature. And right there, those 2 are supposed to be on to Midway, but I'm going to leave them alone. Transport 25. So artillery, infantry on the transport, destroyer, 4 carriers, 3 fighters on Midway, 3 fighters in the water, 1 tactical bomber, 3 cruisers, 1 battleship. Transport in 12, 2 subs, and 1 destroyer in 10. 3 bombers, 2 anti-aircraft in West Coast, 3 3 mechs in Alaska, infantry and mech in 3, and a transport. I'm going to put that on the water. I got to eliminate everything. Transport in 3, and then an American infantry and truck in Soviet Far East. And okay, so 91. 101 has a destroyer and transport. There is a tank, 2 anti-aircraft, 1 artillery, and 1 infantry on East Coast with a aircraft carrier 91. All right. 3. All right, so there's East Coast, 91. 10 on West Coast. Just going to show you a picture. Alaska and Soviet Far East, 2 infantry in Siberia. And there's 25, 17, 16. There is 18, 21, and 33. There's a picture of 25 and 12. All right, Crockett 36 out.